are live. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy, James. I'm here today to give y'all my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen in this video, but that's okay. You know what? Belle Collective actually was an okay episode. But before I go on, I want to introduce y'all to my co-host. Y'all already know who this is if you already been here before. This is Mrs. Best, aka my girl Amina.
Hello.
Yeah, she here with us. How you doing today?
I am good. I'm actually very relaxed today. I have no clue why, but
Uh, Hey, I live for it. So you guys, y'all know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe to my girl's channel if you haven't already. She gives so much great content on her channel, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So y'all make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to both of us. We are trying to build these platforms up. We're gonna be giving y'all a lot. We just started now. It's still early. We're only 2 months into this, I
that's
believe.
crazy. It
It
feels
is
so
crazy.
longer.
It is crazy because it does. It feels like we've been doing this a while, but no, we're only 2 months into this. We're still learning the ropes. We may forget some things on what happened on these shows. We may forget, but mind you guys, be respectful. These are only our opinions. Anything that you hear is only our opinions. I respect Aisha as a black woman, but let me explain something to y'all. I still think she's full of shit at the end of the day. Okay? Okay. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off at. So this show actually left off at Soguchi, Sophia Shante on this channel party, and JJ decides to order her nice stripper from Jamaica, I believe is what he told Willie in the later on the episode, with a yeah this, and I'm just like, is this
Strange thing to do for your wife. I told my husband watching that, don't you ever fucking order me, first of all, a male stripper, let alone one with a dingaling that looked like a piece of a log. Nope.
I'm trying to figure out the fascination because JJ concerned me. I'm gonna get to it, y'all, but JJ concerned me in this episode when he was having that conversation with Willie. I was Willie, and the Willie actually had the right reaction because I was reacting like that too. Because I was like, "What the hell are you talking about right now?" But to skate to the matters of this confrontation we had between Letitia and Cliff. So, for those of y'all who did not see our recap last week, Cliff took it upon himself to call Glenn, which is Letitia's husband, and tell him that Letitia was being inappropriate at this party entertaining the stripper. Now, I felt two ways about this. Now, if you guys watch my recap, I said Cliff needed to mind his own fucking business at the end of the day. We're going to make sure we're clear about that. But the
Yep.
other thing that needed to happen was Glendale, sir, y'all are separated. And ladies, and I need to put this insert this. Ladies, get legally separated get some paperwork. Because obviously they're doing this the ghetto way, which you be in your house, I be in my house. Yeah, we still married. But they obviously are doing it this way. But
When
get
you
y'all some
do it that
paperwork.
way, that's because you don't intend to divorce. When you really want to divorce, you're gonna file whatever paperwork is necessary,
Oh,
even
we
if
know Letitia full of shit.
yeah.
We know she full of shit. We know she ain't
Did
went
you
nowhere. They
see? Did you see her and
on
Glenn
IG.
celebrating
Yes, I
20
did.
years? And her dumbass caption, it read, uh, happy just anniversary instead of happy or something. I'm like, and the whole world is like, so like we thought you had nothing, so you leaned in on this shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Allegedly.
So right, because we don't know. That could have just been for a show. But what I'm gonna say is this: I understood if Letitia was really separated from Glenn. I really understood what she was saying. Like, how could you go to my husband and tell him what I'm doing, and you're not even bringing the story back right anyway? Because from everybody else's perspective, Letitia wasn't really engaging. She just was there.
Even if
No,
she
she
was, Cliff should not have called Glenn like she's a child getting in trouble with a parent.
yeah.
Like, either way, it's weird, but she did not do anything with that stripper.
That's what I'm saying. And so for Cliff to be all like, you need to be the right kind of woman and all this toxic ass masculinity, I was like, motherfucker, first of all, you need to be the right kind of husband for your wife and let her go out and do what she's supposed to do, which is find somebody her own fucking age. Let's start there.
Well, there's a lot. because at that party, the little Belle Collective Facebook group, shout out to the Belle Collective Facebook group. Somebody, these people are into this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody screenshot it and posted a picture of Latrice at the party with Cliff that we saw with bruises all down her arm.
I saw that.
I said,
And
now we get to points where it's becoming more than alleged. It's becoming, what do
more
they call that?
apparent.
There is
It's becoming,
circumstantial
yes.
evidence. There is now
It's,
physical evidence. We get into a solid case here.
and I was getting to that. And I'm like, first of all, and then two, are you the right kind of man? Because your wife has bruises on her arms that the camera panned in on in the right lighting, sir.
Ain't nobody
And see,
grabbing you that hard to where you bruise if he
we're
is
to
just
you
grabbing
bruise.
you, which I feel like he'll try and say at the reunion, because I know it's going to come up. It's everywhere. But
It better. Shit, it better come up. Carlos, don't be playing with us.
Carlos loves to play with us.
Since you want to host these reunions and not pay Egypt her money, shout out to Egypt Sherrod. I absolutely love her. She got her HGTV channel. I watch that all the time. I love you, Egypt, but I would
She's
love to
not
see
on
you
OWN
back.
anymore hosting the shows?
No, she's not. Carlos took over.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Carlos took over hosting his own shows. But the problem that I have is because Egypt got right to the point. That's what I loved about her. So the fact that she's not coming back, do whatever it takes to get her back. But yes, Carlos, don't be playing with us. Ask them damn questions, please. Thank you. So, moving on from there, we got a lot of boring scenes from Aikisha this episode, and I don't know why, and I don't care why, and I don't want to care about her or Willie eating food up in the kitchen. I don't care about Aikisha and all 15 of her sisters, and they're talking about these girls. I do not care about Aikisha with her baby eating a piece of bread. I do not care.
Aikisha, to me, I don't dislike her, but I do like that she's very involved with her children and all of that. What I don't like is to go on reality TV and portray yourself in a way that is like how my friends my age with their kids and families would live their life is boring. I don't care to see scenes with her and Willie. I also do not care about any of the weird sexual innuendos given in confessionals. Um, I don't dislike Willie. I just think that they're regular, simple people. I don't really care. And then I can't respect Aikisha fully as a boss when she didn't work for any of the shit that she had outside of the degree. It was handed to her from her mother, who's actually her aunt. So I just really, I've tried with this woman and I'm just not interested. I have nothing bad to say about her. I'm just not interested.
It's not that I'm talking bad about Aikisha. It's just that she's just a waste of a cast member
Yep,
on the show.
that's
Like
it.
she needed to be a friend of the show. She did not need to be a full cast member because all we've gotten from her is her showing up to events and her at home.
Yep.
We ain't got
When she comes up
nothing
to events
else.
and there's drama, even if she's involved, she's not quite
Well,
involved.
here's the thing. Even if she's involved, she's literally looking at it with a bird's eye view. She's not looking at the full picture. Just like that shit with Toguchi and Latrice. It was like she just was on Toguchi's side when meanwhile you did the exact same shit Latrice did, which you found another realtor to find your home. So that's why I said Aikisha is full of shit and I cannot stand her. Like I just like anytime I'm willing to go to bat for Tamra over Aikisha, something is wrong with you.
Well, I
But
think
that's it.
Keisha, if you're gonna, for anybody who's gonna go on reality TV, if you're one of those people who needs to protect your peace and don't like engaging in drama, don't go on reality TV.
Yeah.
Especially if Carlos King, Bravo Television, or certain networks have anything to do with it, because that's what you're going to be surrounded around. And I think that's the issue with her. She is messy, but not in a confrontational way, which just does not work for TV. So
It's not that she's messy in the conference, she's messy unnecessarily. Like she's messy in a way, just like when she was saying to her sisters in that one scene. We'll bring this up because I'm not going back. She goes, "Well, I went into this group, and this one girl said you stole my idea for Ferris Street." And she goes, "I didn't even know you existed." And it's like, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. Aikisha. It's just mighty convenient that when a show gets picked up for one season, and mind you, it had been months between the first season and the second season, where they had released the entire first season before they went into production to film the second season. This show had been off for months. So it's mildly convenient that all of a sudden you now want to be involved in Fair Street after all of these years that street has been dilapidated and closed off all this time. You now want to be involved with it after this woman got on TV and said this is where the Jackson roots of her historical Black people resides, and that's awfully convenient, Aikisha. Awfully convenient. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. I'm not saying that Letitia wasn't on bullshit because I'm sorry, man, you weren't able to get it done. So leave it to the lady who actually had land on that street to get it done. But I'm for not one second not believing that you didn't come on this show with the intentions, and it's just so happy you knew Tambra from high school and you got on this show. Come on, you're not gonna convince me that you did not steal this idea from Letitia. You just happened to have the footing behind you to actually get it done. Which is it done? Is it done, Aisha? Is it done?
Agree. I agree.
Because I'm sorry, when she said that, it
Everything
pissed me
she
off.
talks about is related to Ferris Street. Every single thing that she talks about, like, and that's not normal. I know that we talk to our spouses and partners about our business dealings, school dealings, just all your dealings in general. But it seems like every time she's with Willie, that's what they're talking about. And I could tell he don't give a damn. So
You don't give a damn because this shit is gonna be a limbo for the next 5 years. That's why you don't give a damn, because this shit ain't gonna get done. And that's the thing. What's to say? Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a little bit. What's to say that Aikisha really does get progress and yes, she gets the permits granted? Is she gonna pay for the construction for all of these, renovations to be done?
No.
Is she gonna put up the millions of dollars that it probably will take to revitalize her 3 buildings on that street? I don't know. Is she?
I have a feeling that that's probably why she's on the show. I feel like she'll try and use cast members maybe from other shows that are in nearby states who do have experience in construction and things like that to try and get them to build it. And then she's going to come across the Carlos like, now we can have a love and marriage, and Belle Collective, the Bells can meet the marriage and the love. Like when we can see it coming from a mile away, that means it's actually coming, for one. And for two, it's just going to make people dislike her a little more. But I think that she also understands, because she is smart, that she's protected under the safety net of Black history. Nobody is really rooting to see her fail with this project because of how impactful it is to Black people, the community, and the history that all of our people, even us outside of Mississippi, I guarantee you, like in California, almost every person you talk to, their family came from either the South, Mississippi and Louisiana, Texas, a little bit of Detroit, and some of Illinois, but that's where most of the people's roots are from. So I think that she's going to lean in on that definitely to make her relevant, because who's going to get rid of the lady who's doing something for Black history? How can OWN, a Black-owned network, and that's trying to highlight all these shows, how can they, get out of that? So I think Aikisha knows what she's doing, but, if you're going to do that and that's all you want to talk about, make her a friend of, so that she can stay on the show, because the makeup doesn't give, the hair doesn't give, nothing gives with Aikisha. I'm just
okay. Aikisha like she worked with me, and I'm just saying,
regular person.
Just a regular person. Ain't nothing special about you. You just married to a former football player. We get it.
Like, I can't stand Marie's finger waves, but at least she's got finger waves.
Okay, that's some fresh gel on that motherfucker every day. I see it. So I'm not. Yeah, we ain't mad at Marie. So oh, I forgot to highlight that little scene, that little cute little scene with her and Latrice I forgot to highlight that scene. I don't really.
I think they need to sleep together and get it over with. That's all I'll say. Latrice and Marie's energy is that type of energy, and I think
absolutely,
because Latrice don't care, but Marie seems like the type that would hide and be an asshole, like the one that'll pull your bra strap because they like you.
Where Essie at? Essie, don't do this to me now. Bring your ass back in a couple more episodes now, Essie. Because you can't tell me you and Marie. And I'm just playing. Allegedly, Marie, don't be coming for me. Allegedly, God damn it. Anyways, Moving on from Akeisha scenes, because we talked about all three of them before we get to her big party. So next, what happens is Latrice and Letitia meet up to play tennis, which was some crazy shit to watch. Realistically, that instructor said, "Give me about $200 so I can go get up out of here. I don't want to talk to you. Y'all want to train y'all too. Y'all ain't even taking this serious." That's exactly what that white lady said. You can't tell me different. But what ended up happening is that she wanted to confront Latrice about Cliff, about him going to Glenn and telling him about what happened. And this is Latrice. Well, I'm gonna stand by my husband, and he could have been wrong, but I'm just gonna stick beside him, and all because Daddy know what he doing, and don't she give you like a season 5 Portia?
Yep. That's listen. Who
It
else?
was it
Portia,
was like
to Judice. There's so many housewives that are just when they get a man, they go a little kooky. They get a little kooky.
no, they get a little dingy because I have never in my life. I had to rewind that just to see if that's really what she said. I'm gonna stick beside my husband. He may have been wrong, but I'm gonna stick
These are
beside
for like
him.
for people who work in social work, social services, rehabilitative services, psychology, even medical fields and nursing. And we understand that the reason she is saying those things is because Cliff watches this show. And I believe the way abusers are is they control every aspect of your life. I think because she does show telltale signs of psychological and physical abuse, and now we're seeing physical signs of it through bruising and stuff. She has to stick behind him. It's likely a safety thing. Like people don't understand domestic violence really does affect your mind, and it's not always wholly physical. I truly believe I don't give a damn if they sue me because I'm trained to fucking assess this shit. And I can put psychological assessments to it, and I can guarantee that there's abuse going on in that relationship. She behaves like a battered woman. She behaves just like one. So I don't expect for Latrice to ever say anything too much just go against Cliff, but she does also try to slip in the stuff to acknowledge and say he's wrong. But I think the women have the same inkling that us watching the show have. And I think it's fucked up of them if they know and suspect this about this man and know things off camera to continue to berate her for his behavior, knowing and seeing the dynamic of that relationship. Even if there wasn't any type of potential abuse that could be going on, it's obvious that the way their relationship is, you're never going to get through. So why did these bitches keep wasting their breath? That's that's all I want to know. That might be mean, but you know.
No, I absolutely agree because when you look at her speak about him in such a way where not only is she protecting him, you're protecting him against another woman who he is wreaking havoc in her home with her husband that she is ghettofied separated from. So I'm not and see, and that's my thing about Latrice is like, man, blink twice. Is it
Mhm.
happening? Is it not? Because that is absolutely crazy. What I would have liked her to have done, and this is my opinion, I would have been like, you know what? I don't stand by what he did. I love him. That's my husband. I get it. I'm always gonna protect him. But woman to woman, I saw where you were coming from, and he was dead ass wrong for that. And I'm gonna apologize on his behalf because you're my friend at the end of the day.
I truly don't think she could even safely say that without him like doing
It
something.
wouldn't matter to well, let's see, but see, that's the difference between me and her. I wouldn't give a fuck. If
Yeah.
you wrong,
People
you
people
wrong.
who are experiencing stuff like that are in toxic relationships as a whole, even if it's not that shit fucks with your psyche. So I think everybody need to stop wasting their breath with Latrice. Or I can't remember what show. There's been a couple of shows though, other shows, obviously on different networks, where cast members have refused to film with or be around the spouse of certain people who could be a little shady or be uncomfortable. At the very least,
Absolutely.
the fucking producers need to tell Cliff, like, we want you to be filmed as well, but no liquor. I want to see. I want to see what would happen if that man couldn't get to a whiskey and coke. I just want to know. But no, what I will say that I found was interesting is Letitia was like, "You need to stay out of my marriage, Cliff." And I'm like, I can understand her saying that, but it's always the person who's in everybody else's business that wants somebody to stay out of theirs. And Letitia's been in everybody else's business.
I was gonna say we're gonna get to that next. Actually, since you've mentioned that, her conversation with Tambra, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again with this bullshit. Because Tambra, to me, okay, I understood Tambra. I did. I'm not gonna be mean. I understood Tambra in this section, but one, I still think Tambra full of shit. Because I think you were engaged to that man. Because I don't think they would make that
Oh,
shit up.
she probably was. We know
I
Tamra's a liar, but just because someone's a liar doesn't make it okay to ambush them in a predatory manner.
no. And that's what I was getting to next. I don't think that Marie and Letitia really were right in that situation because even though Tambra is full of shit and y'all were trying to find something, this was the wrong something to find. This
Here's the
was the,
thing, Letitia, we know Marie is a mean girl, and we can see why with her therapy sessions, issues. We already have seen the worst of Marie. Marie is Marie. What with Letitia, for me, and I was talking to somebody on that little Belle Collective group, and people were actually agreeing with me. I've been kind of peeped this from season one. I think that Letitia is a fake nice girl. She's a mean girl
mm,
with a nice face on, because anybody with human decency and or common sense would know and expect that meeting with this person is messy. You have no reason to. It doesn't impact your life in any way. Um, the other thing is you only apologize. You were so quick to apologize once it came out and so quick to tell her. It just seemed like it was all very calculated and manipulative. Like,
I absolutely agree.
I'm gonna apologize and I'm gonna own it so people can see. At least if Letitia makes a mistake, she gonna do the right thing.
And
Listen,
see, and I saw that manipulation as well, and I want to speak on that because I felt like that was bullshit. And for the fact that that went over Tambra's head, it was like, okay, but you still got into a car with Marie,
planned it.
rode to plan this outing with this man, not thinking about me. At least, like Tambra said, had the common courtesy to come talk to me if you really wanted to know about that situation, which they didn't want to know about that situation for Tambra's well being. They wanted to try to make a point about Tambra. And
Letitia is giving us Sheree trying to play peacemaker on
no, it
our
wasn't.
show.
No,
It's a joke.
it wasn't. This would be like Marlo trying to make peace. Because you know why I said Marlo? Because it's not sticking the way it should have. With Sheree, I feel like some of those relationships did stick. With Healing, her and Candy, you know, who else was the one that got into it with somebody? Was it Kenya and Courtney?
Yeah, I think they made peace. They did
They
make peace.
made peace as well. So I feel like Sheree's tactics work. You just can't call her out on it. And that's why I said Marlo, because no one's going to call Marlo because they know Marlo's just going to throw a tantrum and just run out the same way Letitia would throw a tantrum as we see with her and Glenn when Glenn confronted her. Because if Glenn would have called me with that bullshit, I would have laughed. I
Yeah.
said, I'd have
Here's
been
the
like,
thing. That's
I
the
don't see
other
your ass here. What you
why
calling me for?
that's the other reason I say she's a fake ass nice girl,
Mm-hmm.
because the moment that happened when you were talking to your husband, you did all that extra shit for the camera. That was obvious, for one, because you know you're gonna go sit on it after, sis, because you've been doing it. And then two, it's like you sitting up here throwing shade at your so-called friend. She has nothing to do, and we know I can't hold you responsible for what your man do, and you can't hold me responsible for what my man do, because people are their own people. But you're not gonna sit here and start throwing shade at your friend. I'm not Latrice. I ain't just gonna down chance that. Like, none of that has anything to do with your relationship at all. It just doesn't. So, like, bringing stuff up like that, you telling us how you really feel about her. But I feel like you also did that for the camera, because you know you and Glenn is good, Letitia.
And that's my thing. And that was my point. And I brought up that point to bring up this point. What is the difference between Marie and Cliff?
There is no difference.
There is no difference.
That's the
Exactly. But
best
you
point
write
you
it.
could have brought up. That's the
Yes.
best point you could have brought
What
up.
is the difference between Marie and Cliff? Because let me explain something to you. Cliff messingly went to your husband who was your abuser at the time. He may not have physically abused you, but he cheated on you. That's a form of abuse.
Yep.
And messingly told him about something that you didn't even do. Y'all got into a car to talk with Tambra's ex, who was abusive to her, and instead of having the courtesy to say, you know what, no, let's not do this, y'all still went and did it, and you still, so there's no difference between Marie and Cliff, but yeah, you still ride for Marie. So what did Cliff do that was so wrong? That's what I'm saying. Letitia's full of shit too. I see what you're saying, and
Yeah,
that's why I brought up that point.
she's entirely full of it. And when you try so hard to fakely look good, when you're so concerned
Mhm.
with the perception of you, you're missing the actual, like the way that
Yes.
people are perceiving you. It's a mess. This episode was boring, but it did show Letitia's colors, I think, to a lot of people from what I'm seeing. A lot of
I Yeah, I'm starting to look at her differently. Because I remember I said I was okay with her because I still think that she's full of shit. All of them really are, but I still feel like there's
well,
something
she's
about
the
her I
least
just can't
busy
get.
Belle. So I expect her to have time to go off to meet with this person.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm just
Yeah.
keeping it real. She bought a building and she rents shit out in the building. All I know about Letitia is I am tired of the storyline with Glenn. Either divorce or stay together. If you are going to separate, then drop him from the show. We don't need him to film with you. Like,
Right.
let's move it along.
Exactly. So speaking of moving along, let's move along to JJ and Willie.
Mhm.
JJ is so strange. I just can't. I cannot. Willie looks so uncomfortable in this entire scene. So
Yes.
to describe to y'all what we're talking about, JJ invites Billy David. They're playing billiards, pool for y'all who want to be, you know, calligraphy wise. So what they're talking about is his party for Sophia Shante, so Gucci for y'all who don't know that. And he was saying, yeah, I had, a party for her. I brought all the girls there and everything. He was taking all the responsibility of this party, mind you. And and then I had a stripper. So I was like, oh, okay. So I got your message. Is it choppy?
It's like a shuffly sound. It sounds like your shirt or something is hitting your microphone.
Okay, let me switch it.
I didn't know.
Interrupt me next time so that way I know not to. How's it now?
I know I sent the text. I was trying to be professional.
No, don't be professional, but you could have put it in our private chat because I'm like looking at my
We
phone.
do have a private chat.
Yes. Because, see, yeah. So I'm going to have to hold it like this now.
Oh, it's fixed. Wow.
Uh, yeah. So, and let me put this camera up because, see, now it look good. It look
I
good.
like
I'll
your
hold this
clock.
shit up.
It's very fancy.
Thank you.
Very chic.
Um, so, moving on. So JJ and Willie had this interaction. And he talked about the stripper with the and all this and that, and then he was talking about how Cliff was all looking at it closer than the trees was, and then he had this little girl snicker, and I was like, see, I can't take JJ
No,
serious.
but I said it on the last recap. I said it. I said
You
Cliff
did.
staring at that thing and he liked what he saw. He was not disgusted.
You know what? I don't know who it was, which YouTuber I was watching a recap of their video last week, but they were saying now it makes me wonder what the real issue with Josh is.
Uh-huh. Oh shit.
Yes.
Like something you
It
watch
makes me.
Color Me
Mhm.
go over this show.
Yeah, she does. I
Something
don't know if it was her. I can't. I don't know if I watched her review
she
yet.
would say. I
It
started
is something she would say. It is something she would say. Shout out to Color Me Pink Keisha Irvin, my fellow author. Friend in my head. She is an author as
she
well.
is an
She
author.
is one of my inspirations. So I love her to death. Thank you, Color Me Pink. We love you here on Watch Your Mouth Reviews. Would
Mhm.
love to do a collaboration with you. I'll send this to Color Me Pink because she is always welcome on this channel. So moving on. I hate holding this microphone, but they give me another
Well,
headphone.
don't hold it. Maybe that side to help.
Well, just
You're
let me know
fine.
next time. Be like, hey, James, you scratchy.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way I know to, fix it.
It's fine now. You
Okay,
probably
good.
just have to switch it.
Okay. So moving on. So yeah, and then they talk about Glenn because apparently he said Cliff called Glenn, and then he shades Glenn, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, JJ's messy. He's one of the girls.
Okay,
He was like that
JJ.
on the Dancing Dolls.
Was he? Because mind you,
Yes.
guys, For those of y'all like wonder why I'm so puzzled by him, because every episode he surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't that ponytail, it or his accent, saying people bisexual, I
God darn
can't.
it.
God darn it. Yes, and then, yeah, he might as well put that on a fucking t-shirt because of how much he says
I'm
that.
surprised. Well, if his wife was a real salesperson, then she would have been new to profit off of that and put it on the t-shirt. Because I sure as hell, my husband's most popular song, babe, go on and make you a shirt. B3ST all day. Go on and put this on a shirt. Speaking of which, shout out to my husband. Go stream Oh So Best with a 3, not a E. But no, on a serious note, that's weird. I worked in sales for many years. Okay, many years, all different types of sales. I done sold insurance, I done sold internet, I done sold vacuum cleaners, cars, you name it. I'm very good at sales. I have to get the gab. So it's very strange. I'm also interested in real estate and going to be going to school for it. So it's interesting to see Triple S, Sophia Shante, so Gucci, have a spouse that is literally loved even prior to this show coming on, loved by viewers of Lifetime. How have you guys not profited off of his God darn it, God darn it, God darn it? Like, how if she was really in sales? That's all I'm saying.
Well, we already know she likes to let real estate gigs go, so we already know she's not
She's
the
a
best
leasing
salesperson.
consultant.
Yes, we know, but she want to put on this facade that she does real estate.
Well, she's also a trainer, and I haven't seen her work out.
For those of y'all can go ahead and email me on watchyourmouth@gmail.com. Please send me her credentials because I'm not going to look this up. She has no relevance of importance to my life, but I will read it if someone sends it to me. What does Shantae do, actually? Because property management and leasing consultant sounds a lot more accurate because we saw her in an office building with leasing paperwork. I know there's some, and as I said, someone told me, well, some realtors do also show
Lease.
leasing property as well. I understand that. I'm not disputing that. But why is it so prevalent that both Latrice and Aikisha have consulted with you? You did not make them sign a non competitive agreement, which is what realtors have. So I'm trying to figure out
Eva Marie had to come for behind Latrice's.
because it was stupid.
The other thing I think that's strange is like for me watching her, we don't get scenes of her at all in business. Now, when you're in real estate, we usually see there's lots of shows that have people in real estate and we see them showing a house, looking at a house, leaving a property, meeting someone at that property. Uh, and I'm just like, come on now, so Gucci, because I was watching Black Ink Crew LA. Okay, this is a real ratchet show that nobody watch no more. I just be watching it when I'm bored. And Kevin Leroy, a tattoo artist, he's with a real estate agent, and they met up outside of the spot, the house, a couple of houses. We saw the guy fall through on a house that he was selling to a lady. She was really upset about it, cried all this because she was pregnant as hell. And then we saw a couple of months later, he was able to find her another property and they spoke about it. Now, it's very strange when real estate agents or anybody who's in sales has a platform that literally fucking shows what they do and can highlight and market them to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And she is not utilizing this at all. Same thing for personal trainer and her fitness shit that she does. We haven't really seen her work out. And the one thing she did do, no one really worked out. And she had these bitches outside in 100-degree humid Mississippi River. Now, my family's from the South. What personal trainer would realistically have people working out hard or doing anything in that type of heat and humidity? That's when you do your indoor workout. So I just don't know what her purpose is, but I had to get that off my chest. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, I'm glad you did because honestly, the JJ and Willie scene freaked me out. I was very uncomfortable with that shit. So,
JJ
move.
probably will sleep with whoever's available.
It's given they have the threesomes and they just trying to project that onto Chris and Latrice.
Hmm.
Allegedly.
That's why she keeps
Alle-
talking about it.
mm, allegedly, because I don't want them coming for me. So, moving on to the last scene, which is Aikisha's Black History holiday inspired Christmas party.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give Akeisha credit where credit is due. I thought this was a wonderful event. I loved all of the history. I love all of the, designs and museum esque, platforms that she had in this event. Now, were they on Ferris Street? Because Akeisha, that didn't look like Ferris Street to me.
She said that they were at an exhibit. I believe it was on Ferris Street because I was amazed when they were talking about it because I always have subtitles on. I said, oh shit, it's Farish Street. The whole time I've been thinking it's Ferris Street because of their damn Mississippi accents, but they were on Ferris Street. It sounds like that's a, excuse me, that sounds like that's an exhibit that they have available, I guess, for people to see. It sounds like it's one of the only things that she's done on that street thus far.
Hmm.
From what she said, that's like available and open and ready. I don't
Now,
know.
now I'm about to be messy because um let me explain something to you. The exhibit. Did we get the name of what it was called?
We did. I didn't write it down and I do not remember, but they did say the name. We just have to look into it.
Why does Old Miss have another project on that same street?
Who?
See, Old Miss, the university.
Huh.
Mm. Hmm.
I
Oh,
didn't.
it's a huge. Oh, it's a huge district. It's not just one street. Oh, okay. Interesting.
He said, I'm Googling because I don't understand.
Absolutely, because I don't Bitmo. So okay, so it's really not just a street; it's a district.
Mm.
So that's where okay, because the way they make it seem like it's one damn street, and
I wonder
from
if
what
she is working on property that's on the actual Farish Street and
we'll
there's a
see if
whole
you look at the. Okay, hold on, I'm about to share my screen
because I'm so confused.
because I don't even see. Okay, I see it now. Okay, so she probably because look, I done Googled everything and so I don't know. Hold on.
You trying to get it together. It's like we want,
Because
but
because
y'all not
I don't
telling us.
I don't know. So this is Ferris Street right here. Okay. You see all this shit? So I'm trying to figure out at what part of this street where it's dilapidated because you see they have the Alamo Theater here. That's dilapidated. And then you have the Baptist Church. That's dilapidated. Johnny T's Bistros and Blues look like it's open. Dining and takeout. So I'm trying to figure out at what part does she and that's the thing. I don't understand where I need her to come on YouTube. Akeisha, I'm not talk shit about you, baby. But you are welcome on Watch on My Reviews
I'm
channel if
trying
you
to
want to
get
do an interview because I need to understand exactly where your land is, what buildings you own personally, because it's not making sense.
she's not going to do an interview with anybody because that would she doesn't have those answers. Obviously what you just showed doesn't look like it honestly looked like parts of Oakland look. Like
D-
you go through
Girl,
certain
wait, wait,
parts,
wait. Yes,
if
yes.
you go through certain parts of West Oakland, you would think that nobody's there. The shit hasn't been worked on. You go to certain parts of East Oakland, there's parts of that. You go to parts of Vallejo where I'm at, and there are areas, and you're just like, the fuck? But still thriving city. I think the best example would be uh, Detroit and Stockton, California. Detroit, Michigan, Stockton, California. Both cities that have been known to suffer, both cities with extremely rich histories, especially in Black history and Hispanic history for Stockton. But and many areas that just look like run down, like no one's working on them and love. But at the same time, these are cities with big populations, just like Jackson, Mississippi. people live there. They just may travel outside to close metropolitan cities to do their
Mm-hmm.
activities, or they work with what they have within their own city. But Jackson, Mississippi does have a big history. It is a larger city, but at the same time, Aikisha selling it as if she is like saving Jackson's history and all of this. And come to find out, others have been opening businesses and doing goods and stuff. So I'm very confused as well.
I am confused. That's why I said, Aikisha, you are welcome on Watch on My Reviews channel. I can't pay you shit. But you are welcome to spend 10, 15 minutes explaining to us what this is and what is your
Uninterrupted.
part into this. I won't interrupt you. I will not. I will let you speak. I will have some questions for you, not necessarily pertaining to the show. I just want to know because I am a Black History buff. I love Black History, and she made me feel better than Letitia as far as getting this together. But there's still a lot of things that she's not answering that I feel she has a platform to speak on.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion, and maybe I'm missing it. If I'm missing
You're
it,
doing all
y'all.
of this for Jackson, Aikisha. It would make sense too, even if not with us. Go and interview, go and update if you don't want to interview. Just post little YouTube short updates of the progress of what's going on. But in order for a project like that to succeed, especially in a small biased place like Mississippi, having people outside of Mississippi who understand could help. People have ways they can advocate and help who aren't from there. Everyone wants to protect Black history, but it looked like right now you're using Black history to have a check on this show. And if that's the case, then, shame. It's almost as bad as Portia not knowing what the Underground Railroad was, considering who her granddaddy was.
Y'all, I was not gonna go there,
I
but
went there.
she went there. I was not going to go there at all, but she went there. So let's move it on because there was a couple of things I wanted to touch on. You know, the Letitia Cliff and Latrice thing comes up again. Marie said it best, and this is the one time I was actually on Marie's side. They're two insecure people, and they very much are. He's controlling, she's mute. Kind of reminds me of the one doctor on the show I don't recap anymore. It reminds me of that because it is that. It is so much that he is insecure because you have to understand she's 20 years young. He got children the same age as her.
Mhm.
So come on. Keeping up with her is not an easy thing. But what he don't realize is she's so like fatherless child lost that she's just gonna go along with whatever you have just because that's who she is. And you don't necessarily even have to be insecure. And I think him being insecure is what's getting in the way of them actually having a relationship.
I think that man needs an AA meeting, a therapist, and to keep his hands to
My
himself.
friend, my BFF don't sugarcoat shit, y'all. I was trying to be
That's
nice, but see, she was.
that's how I feel.
Yeah, and then the last thing that happened on this episode, because we gotta hurry, I had to get to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Last thing that happened on this episode was like Keisha introduced her mom to this, Now I was confused. I'm gonna tell you why, because then I rewind it back because she said she has sisters.
Mhm.
Now, when she had the meeting with her mama, where was them sisters in the midst of all that? Now, is this her actual like blood sisters? 'Cause I was confused about that.
One of the sisters is her blood first cousin. The
Hmm.
other sisters are her actual sisters by
They just
blood, but she calls them her sister cousins because technically they're her cousins because the lady who she tells us is her mother is actually
her
her
aunt.
her aunt. So it gets confusing, but I believe those are the children of her dad. So
Oh, okay,
they're
that makes
her
sense.
sisters, yes, but because her mom is her aunt, they are also her cousins.
So it makes me wonder because this is another thing I was wondering. Why would she solely inherit the property and not the sisters that are the
Because
father?
the
Because
sisters belong to the father, but it's the aunt who has the degree and has to do with Farrah Street. And because she was raised by the aunt and the aunt had no other children, Akeisha's the only one she has to leave stuff to.
ain't that
That's
some shit?
That's the only because I went back and watched that past episode where they explained all of that because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I was okay because I should have did that too because maybe I would have had a better understanding because I was listening to Akeisha and I was like,
No,
what
it
the fuck?
does make sense. The problem is she's listen, you could say the woman who I know as my mom is not my birth mother, but it's just a lot to explain constantly. I
It
think for her,
is.
and it's very, and that's why you motherfuckers got to be careful with how you spread them wide and who you let do what they doing you because you're gonna end up like Aikisha, the daughter of the side chick, and then you got to go through all of this to explain your upbringing. It's like reliving and
And then the thing about
rehashing.
it is, I don't even think Akeisha even explained it right.
She probably didn't.
And
She's just
I'm
a
about to go back
child.
and watch it. I'm about to go back and watch it. I think I was confused. I'm about to watch my video because I think I was even confused when she explained it the first time. I don't think she
Everyone
explained it
was
right.
confused.
Yeah, I don't think she
It's
explained it right. It
it's
was
a
like
confusing situation
because to me, it
overall.
almost sounded like she was embarrassed to say my dad guy, the side chick, which was my mother, pregnant, and it's
She's
almost
the
like she was.
bastard kid. She's the illegitimate kid, the one that wasn't supposed to be there, the one that could have destroyed a relationship. And that's not her fault. But that's why, as adults, we have to be careful and responsible with what and who we choose to do things with sexually. Even if
Mhm,
you are doing some shady stuff, because people gonna do what they do. Wrap it up, put on a condom, go buy a plan B, something.
mhm.
Sit, but it's confusing. I've seen people like, wait, is her sister really her mom because they're 20 years apart and all of this? I'm like, oh,
Which the jury's still out on that because I didn't look at old pictures of that lady, and I'm sorry, I thought that was Drew. So, but speaking of which, we get into that show, y'all. So I'm just going to end it on here because there's nothing else that they had on this show. I'm waiting for it to go on hiatus for a little bit because it's about to get on my nerves. But other than that, that was it, you guys. It was an okay episode. I gonna hang on with Belle Collective. I'm not gonna drop it like I did Love and Marriage Detroit, but I still have not watched it since I dropped it, and I have no intentions on watching that shit.
I
I'll watch it. I will watch the recaps of other YouTubers. I'll be watching Bondi Blues. I'll be watching when she, especially when she's on the ladies first panel. I'll watch it then. I will
haven't.
watch Color Me Pink, and I'll watch somebody else. I'll pretty much all of the like and Campfire, of course. Like I'll watch all y'all, but I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna do that show. But that's it, guys. Come back on my channel in about 2 minutes. We're gonna do Real Housewives of Atlanta. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels if you like what you see, or even if you don't, just have us in the Rolodex. You ain't gotta watch us. But I will see you guys in the next video. Until the next time, guys. Bye.